Good morning, everybody. I am Pat from the Aussie Gamers Experience, more commonly known as Snoogs, of course, host or co-host, I should say, of the podcast. Make sure you get over to wherever you listen to podcasts. Come and say good day. Today, thankfully, a couple of days out from the launch of the new consoles, everyone's getting very excited, very pumped up for the next generation. We, as in the crew for the Aussie Gamers Experience, were unlucky to get our hands on our own versions for launch. We just missed out on pre-sales, and plus we've got our PCs that we've been sort of plugging along with a little bit more. But today, thankfully, and a big shout out goes to the guys over at Xbox ANZ, I've been allowed to show everybody the Xbox Series S. Now, I'm not a big Xbox gamer. I do enjoy my time on consoles. I'm not a fanboy in any way, or probably a little bit of a fanboy, but that's just coming from a long history being with the PlayStation side of things. But I do love what Xbox does, and I do really enjoy my Xbox consoles. Now, this one, there's been a lot of talk around the next generation, a lot of talk about the Series X and the power it's got. But then you've also got the Series S and the power that it doesn't have. But before we get into that, let's have a quick look and get this thing unboxed, so at least I can start playing with it for a little bit. I do have to return this in a couple of weeks, but for now, 'tis mine to play with. All right, so let's have a look. As you can see on the front, we have a bit of an idea of what the console is going to look like, along with the controller, of course, Series S. 120 frames per second. We've also got the velocity architecture. Of course, it's being digital only, so it's diskless, and a 512 gigabyte SSD. Around on the sides, features, gaming up to 120 frames per second, but there's a but. Requires supported content and display. Use on Xbox Series S as content becomes available. I have two displays behind me, one being a 60 hertz, one being a 75 hertz. So I won't be able to get to 120 anyway, unless I go and play it on the 200 hertz TV, but we'll worry about that later. Of course, you've got the velocity architecture, 512 gigabyte solid state drive, a variable refresh rate. That's really good. High dynamic range, which is awesome, except I've got nothing that supports it, and anything I've played with high dynamic range on has been terrible. And of course, disc-free gaming. On the back, power your dreams. The big selling point for what I think this console would predominantly be aimed at is, of course, Xbox Game Pass. Hundreds of games to play, backwards compatible titles on there and all that sort of jazz, and everything from day one that you can just jump straight into. So that's obviously great. Some more details on the other side, just more images. Nothing but legal crap on the bottom, and then we go to the top. All right, let's get this open. Oh, look at that. Don't even need to cut it. It's got a nice little pull-off tag. Oh, I don't want to hurt the box. Are you kidding me? I'm guessing this has been done a couple of times. Normally I wouldn't care because I throw the boxes away, but so I'm going to pack this one back up. I want it to look nice. Wow, it's tearing it apart. Sorry, doing my best here. Maybe I should have cut it. Last one. Then we can get a look at the console itself. All right. We will give them later. Okay. Oh, nice, just comes up. Oh, look at that. There's been a lot of talk about the actual box that the consoles come in. Very much a lot of people pointing it towards a premium experience. Personally, like I said, I'll throw the box away. I don't care. But there you go. That's what you'll be presented with when you open the box. Very cool. Of course, Right here in the middle, we have the console itself. That's actually a lot heavier than I was expecting. But put that aside. Of course, all your getting started stuff. Nice little handle to get it out with. And over in here, we have the controller. HDMI cable. Now, high-speed HDMI. I know there was a lot of talk about the whole 2.1 and whether it'll carry everything, but we'll try that out. And, of course, power cord. No more power bricks this gen. It's good. Not that there's been power bricks for a long time now, but still, good idea. Documentation. We don't need no instructions. All right. Put this to the side. First off, we'll take a look at the controller. Xbox Series S controller comes with a couple of batteries, as you can see, which we'll put them aside because I've got plenty. And there is the controller itself. Now, there's been a few little minor changes with the controller, especially over the previous ones. Overall, it feels a lot chunkier, actually. Like, weight-wise, it feels heavier. It's slightly smaller in size compared to a previous version. And you've got your standard buttons and, of course, a share button as well, which I'm going to have to play with that because I don't know a lot about it. And this one's old. It's been touching it. Of course, sticks even feel a little bit smaller, but very good. Overall, the controller itself, it's got a nice textured finish. You've got a bit of texture on these shoulder buttons, which weren't there previously. And of course, texture on your triggers as well, which is really nice. USB-C charger or connector. Beautiful. That's actually a really, really nice feeling controller. I'm not one to really compare controllers with different versions because of different layouts and whatnot. It just depends how it feels in the hand. And especially if you're someone that's lucky enough to be able to just, kick back and game for a few hours. You want it to just, be effortless. So this actually feels really nice. I do like that textured sort of feel. It feels nice on the hands. Put that to the side. This is what we all came for, really, isn't it? The Xbox Series S. So let me see what I can do. Power your dreams. I do like that as a slogan. It's good. Let's have a look at this bad boy. This thing is tiny. Look at that. It's got a very nice textured feel to it. Not like it's more of it's a matte finish, so it's not really going to get grubby or anything, show up any grubby fingerprints, stuff like that. On the back, got your power, your storage expansion, which I've got to admit, this is a really good idea. And especially, a little bit further down the line when more companies start getting their hands on, the ability to make these storage expansions, gets a bit of competition, the prices will come down. And that's a really good idea. Makes it nice and easy. You've got HDMI out, USB drives, and of course your LAN port. Wow, this is actually really good. So you can have it sitting down. Sorry, I'm actually a bit blown away by how just neat this looks. Of course, you can have it sitting down or standing up, and that's all you need to do to sit it down or stand it up. It's got their feet already on it. Got your design at the top, and of course your speaker grill for the fan on the front. So how do you think that would actually compare? Well, let's do it. Let's have a look at what it can compare to, shall we? Let's compare it to Nintendo Switch. I don't know if anyone's actually done the Switch comparison. It's a pretty powerful console and something not much bigger than a handheld. This is really cool. Of course, all the other size comparisons, well, everyone's done it. How much smaller it is than an original Xbox, PS4, PS4 Pro, all that sort of jazz, as well as the Xbox One X. But they're plugged in behind me, so I'm not going to go and unplug them. What I am going to do is I'm going to sit this down. I actually prefer that standing up. All my consoles are standing up, so I think I prefer it like that. All right, so I'm going to stand that up. I'm going to plug it in, set it up, and get it going. I'm going to run it on this monitor for a little while. So that's a 1080p 60 frame monitor. So it's not really going to be taxing on the console, so to speak. It is going to go out on the 4K telly and go for a run out there as well. But for now, I'm going to get into it, have a bit of a play. Lucas is going to have a play in a little bit as well. And there'll be a review coming up shortly. But this is just unboxing and showing you what it's like. And call me impressed. I'm actually really impressed at the simplistic design and just the features of it. I'm actually really blown away from something that I thought was too basic to, wow, that's actually really quite nice. Cool. All right, so I've been Snoogs. I'll see you for the next one.